Yeah, yeah, you had a stretch there where it looked like they just couldn't contain you. Did you kind of get in one of those zones where it's like they're not going to stop me, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Once I made that first three, I had a lot of confidence.
Jada was, I mean, obviously, especially in the first half, your defense was kind of lights out as a team overall. Was that obviously a point of emphasis, and how do you think you did overall defensively today?
Definitely defense was an emphasis. Stopping Crooks was the main thing because she's the head of the snake. That's the one who we had to stop. And then the guards, too, just not letting them get going and be a factor. And me just knowing that last year coming into the league, we didn't beat them last year. So I had an extra motivation coming into this game just to get stops and beat them.
When Jada, when Audie and Aaronette are kind of going at it, what's that like to watch those two kind of battle down there underneath the hoop?
It's amazing. They're two great post players. Just to see them battle. Hate the fouls were like that that they were calling it. Wish they would have just let them play, but it was cool to see. And know Nettie can battle against her and really anyone in our league when she really puts her mind to it. And then that no one can really stop her on the offensive end either.
Yaya, what does it say about the ceiling of this team that you can take down Iowa State by 15 points without bugs and still have 4 players in double figures?
We got a lot of people on our bench. We working very hard, especially because Bugs is out. So we got a chip on our shoulder, and we're going for it all right now.
Yeah, how much more confident are you? I mean, now that you're in the starting lineup and you're getting more minutes and all this, like, have you had to shift your focus at all over the last couple of games?
Definitely shift my focus, just being dialed in because I'm going to be in that first 5 in the starting lineup. So just being more focused and being more intent and everything.
Jada, just kind of what's been maybe the biggest adjustment since Bugs has been out that you guys have what's been the biggest adjustment since that?
Definitely rebounding. Just everyone giving an effort. If we had a certain amount of rebounds, just trying to go for an extra 2 more, extra 3 more, just to pick up those rebounds that we're missing. And then just offensively, she's the one that just gets us moving. So trying to get Bella to get in that same role, not just shoot threes, but also attack, get rebounds. Everybody just doing a little extra in their role.
For both of y'all, seeing Sarah get honored at the beginning with the basketball, with how many games she's played, what has she meant to y'all, and what has she meant to this program?
She means everything, honestly. Like, she's our leader. I look up to her. She helps me out a lot, like when I'm down. And I just have a lot of confidence in her.
Definitely. And she's played a lot of games, a lot of big games. She's been to championships. She's been past regular season into postseason multiple times. So it just shows that how good she is for us.
And then, Jada, we touched on that defense a little bit, but forcing 21 turnovers, just kind of what was the key for you guys? It seems like maybe the on-ball pressure was turned up a little bit. Just what was the key for you guys?
Definitely ball pressure was a main emphasis, but also just helping our teammates, knowing we might have to go double, we might have to X out and get different shooters, really limiting their three-point shooting, knowing that when they don't hit a lot of threes, they don't usually win games, so limiting them to as less amount of threes that we can.
Jade, I don't think we're going to talk to you before you go to Kansas State. So, I mean, I guess what has this last 8 games meant for you, and what's been the cause? What's caused this streak? What's changed over the last 8 games for all of you?
Our motivation, especially for the seniors, like this is our last go-round, so really just giving our all because these are our last regular season games. The last time we're going to play Kansas State, unless we get team in the tournament, obviously, but the last time we're going to see these teams at home in our gym or at their gym, so really just taking it personal and being intentional about it.
And Yaya, what do you expect when you go to Kansas State? Because obviously they're a good team, and this is kind of a gauntlet. What are you expecting up there?
I know they can shoot the ball really well. Yeah, that's really it.
But this was a big game for you guys with those two coming up. But this was big to get past this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. First of all, I have a ton of respect for them. After winning 3 in a row, we lost 4 in a row to them. and with different teams, different strengths and weaknesses, but as close as those games have been the last 2 years, it did feel good. I have so much respect for Bill and what he's done and how long he's been at Iowa State and the way his teams play and compete. I love watching Crooks and Brown and Emily Ryan play. They play the game. They play really hard, but there's a joy about how they play. So, it wasn't personal. It was just, this is where we're at, and we're trying to win this thing, and this was a game in front of us, and they're a good basketball team. And so, really, really proud of the way we defended. Really proud of the way we shot the basketball, and our poise. I thought our poise was really good today.
Speaking of those three for Iowa State, you shut them down pretty well in the first half. I guess, what was your goal defensively and how to do that? And obviously, how do you think you did?
Yeah, we want them to go 2 by 2 by 2. That's a team that if they make more than 6 threes, they win. You're studying the analytics, it's that balance. Crooks has been so consistent for them. But when they can play inside, outside, and make threes, they're at their best. And I thought, you get frustrated as a coach when they straight line drive you to the rim. Whether they score, we foul them. But we made them uncomfortable. When they didn't ever really get into flow of the stuff that they were running. They weren't getting shots off screens. I thought one time we got screened in an action that we had practiced, but I thought, we did a good job of their 1-3 was in transition where we didn't communicate and didn't get matched up. But, until I thought midway through the fourth quarter, I thought they had 3 in a row that were wide open. We got tired. We were 5-on-4. Sarah drove, fell. It's 5-on-4. They missed. So they missed a few for us late. But I thought early we really locked in and did a good job on their stuff. I thought Nettie was really good on Crooks. I thought Kyla was good except for about a 2-minute stretch in the fourth. But I thought her rotations were pretty good. So, the defensive effort was elite, other than we got to stop fouling.
What was Nettie doing that was so, I guess, frustrating for Crooks? It seemed like she was...
Well, first of all, Crooks normally just overpowers people. She has such good leverage and good footwork. And I think Nettie mixed up. Sometimes she was behind and forcing her out. Sometimes she was on top. We kind of let Nettie not do what Nettie wanted to do, but kind of do what Nettie wanted to do. Versus Kyla was supposed to be on top, because we knew she would overpower her if she started backing her down. And so, I thought Nettie did a really good job. I thought Crooks hit a big-time shot early in the third when she shot the right shoulder fade with 2 on the clock. But she just didn't walk into those baseline shoulder turn layups. And so, it was kind of like we were able to neutralize her with Nettie, which a kid that scores 20 points a game, to hold her to 14, and she was frustrated at times, 6 turnovers. I was really proud of all 3 of our 5s that played and had to guard her a little bit.
Yaya had 10 in the second quarter and kind of picked up the energy. What can you say about her growth and now stepping into the starting lineup and doing the exact same thing?
Yeah, she, we've gotten pretty good at. We spent a lot of time this summer and then into the fall reading pin downs. And so I thought Yaya did a good job in basically a pin down action of reading it, bouncing it back, hitting the 3. Got real frisky then and hit the step back behind it the next time. But then played downhill and got a layup. And I think in that stretch, she was just kind of taking what the defense was giving her, and then it's fun when you run stuff towards the end, and we stagger screen for her, and she knocked that 3 down. So, she missed those 2 free throws late on a rebound, but other than that, she was pretty darn good on offense.
Coach, in the back, the Play for K campaign, and at the beginning with the cancer survivors, what does it mean to you that you get to be part of something like that?
Yeah, I think like it's such a blessing. Like sometimes, you know, there's a lot of pressure to do this job, and I have to remind myself sometimes that I get to coach a game for a living, and when you get to play this game that's truly a game, and it's for something bigger than yourself. I didn't lose my sister to breast cancer, but I lost my sister to cancer, and so anything associated with cancer is near and dear to my heart. And I know our players like to put the pink ribbons and all the pink stuff and the pink shoes, and believe me, they're going to be like, can I wear my pink shoes in the next game? And the answer is no. Unless it's a pink game, we will go back to team-issued colors. Any one of them, green, gold, gray, whatever they want to wear. But I think they get excited about that, but I think they understand the message. Everybody on that team has been affected by breast cancer in one way or another. And so just appreciate that it was such a big crowd today to honor survivors, and quite frankly, to honor those that didn't. You know, I've said this before, like one of the things when my sister was battling cancer, and I would see all these shows about what a fighter everybody was, and like that was such a positive thing, and it is. And it was like, but I wanted to scream because my sister didn't have a chance to fight. And the reality is, like, she's the toughest person I've known in my entire life. But sometimes you don't get to, you know, and so anyway, just grateful that we were able to win, grateful that we were able to honor both survivors and those who didn't, and it's on to Kansas State.
And then, Coach, also at the beginning of the game, honoring Sarah with the most games played in the conference. What does she mean to you in this program?
Oh, gosh. It was so good to see her make free throws. Sarah Andrews, she's a pain in my butt, but I think if she could get another year, she probably would. I don't think she'd ever leave. I think Sarah's so comfortable here, and she loves Baylor, and she's someone that I just trust. She knows what we run, why we run it. She makes plays when we need her to make plays. We probably hold her to a different standard than everybody else on our team because we know what she's capable of, and she's been here long enough to know what she's supposed to be doing all the time. So the whole I didn't know doesn't really work for her. But, yeah, I guess it's kind of interesting to think that she broke that record. I understand COVID, but there's a lot of kids that have played 5 years. So I think it says a lot about how many games we've been able to play in the postseason, that we've played more games than other people, whether it's conference tournament, NCAA tournament. But I'm always going to be happy to have 2-4 on my team. So if she can get a sixth year, I would let her probably.
With the absence of Bugs in the last couple of games, what's been the biggest adjustment, I guess, and how do you feel like you've seen some of maybe the supplementary pieces really step up?
Yeah, well, obviously, Bella's been fantastic. All 3 games Bugs has missed this year. She's either led us in scoring or been right there. She's been really efficient. Utah, Colorado today. Bella's really good between the lane lines, and so it actually puts her in a position where she's in the more natural space for her. But I think, you know, she's had to step up and carry more of a load. You know, I mean, spends more time as a spot-up shooter when she's at the 3, and we try to post her a little bit against mismatches, but this puts her in space against less athletic players. And it was really interesting. I did not have Addie Brown guarding Jada on my bingo card, so Bill will always do something different. Last year was the zone. The year before that, it was a triangle and 2. Today, it was mostly man, but that unique matchup where they really backed her up and used her as a helper makes me think back to Bridget Carlton days when I was in the W watching how he would utilize Bridget Carlton. But, yeah, I don't know. I think everyone's had to. Wise has given us good minutes in particular. She's had to play the 4. Bella got into a little foul trouble. We had 3 with 2 in that second quarter. So I was really proud of how we managed with Sarah. Yaya had 2. Nettie had 2. Bella, like we were managing, and we were extending the lead with, or at least hanging on to it with that group. And so I thought Wise's minutes were really good. Even though Aaliyah didn't make shots today, I thought she was solid. And I think Kyla rebounds. We just got to get her to make a quicker decision when she rebounds. It's either kick it out, take it up, but maybe not hand it to the other team.
Yeah, I was going to ask you specifically about Kyla. I mean, particularly with Nettie in foul trouble. And I know she gave up some late to Crooks, but just her defense, her rebounding. I think she had 3 block shots.
Yeah, I thought she was really good early. I thought she helped up a little bit off of Williams on some drives, and Williams they were able to drop for easy layups for Williams. But I thought she did a good job getting on top. I thought she just didn't give in when she was guarding Crooks. She's flying to the glass. She's running the floor hard. So I thought her minutes, I told her after the game her minutes were really, really good. I just don't want to see her give in when she gets tired. I thought there were 2 possessions in a row that she just gave in, and it's fatigue. And it's like, you got it. That's mind over matter. Yeah, you're fatigued. So is everybody out there with you, And so, like, you got to ask for a sub, but you got to battle until I can get you one, because I had Kayla ready to go. And she certainly is playing more minutes because of Nettie being in foul trouble at times. And then, obviously, we rested Nettie in the 4th against Colorado. But I thought her energy was good. It's just it's on those, when she gets it around the rim, she's going to go to the boards and she's going to get them. It's what does she do with them when she gets them, and she needs to kick it out quickly or take it up quickly. But when she hesitates, it's when they tie her up because she's indecisive, or she takes a bad shot because they recover. But a lot of that is like, Kyla didn't play a lot as a freshman. She couldn't play as a sophomore. So she still has some of those like young player tendencies, even though she's a junior. Like, Kyla didn't play against Iowa State in the first 2 years she was here. So that's a different beast,
Need to ask about Kansas State too.
Yeah.
What do you expect from them? I think they're getting Aoki Lee back today or this weekend.
Yeah. There was like, she's back kind of, I saw memes and tweets, and they had earmarked. They said they were going to try to get her back for this game. I think Sundell has had like a player of the year kind of season. Sundell has been so good for them. The way she shares the basketball, the way they utilize her, that she posts up smaller people. You put someone bigger on it, she drives by them, or she gets threes. She rebounds the heck. She's one of the few players in our league that legit can go get a triple-double regularly. Not that she has, but she's always like hovering. But I think she's been fantastic. Poindexter's been a really, really good fill-in for Gabby Gregory. She shot the 3 at an elite level, is long, so creates spacing. Jalen Glenn, they're just long. Jalen Glenn's long, tearing sides, gives them someone who can just really get going from 3 off the bench. Zai Walker just keeps getting better. Like, her mid-range game is good. She gets steals on the ball. But they talk a lot about their gap goat and getting stops. I think everything they do starts with defense. But I think they stretch you out a lot like Iowa State. Like, we're going to face 3 teams in a row that are all about, they've got a low post presence. They've got shooters all over, and they've got great spacing. So being able to disrupt their spacing will be really important.